So today we're going to be talking about weight loss, and I know that you will love this video. I'll give you some strategies that science has already proven to be beneficial and efficacious for weight loss, but I don't like talking about weight loss. I don't like people seeking weight loss for the sake of weight loss. I like working with health, and then excess weight will just come off naturally and slowly the way it should. These quick fixes tend to not only put a toll on your body and make you gain the weight again, and they're just not sustainable, and usually they're not healthy. But let's start, because there's a lot of content for 15 minutes today. So the first thing you want to do is shrinking your eating window. So studies have shown that even if you don't change what you're eating, so this is for the people that hate dieting, even if you don't change the quality of your diet, which you should, if you eat in a shorter window, it still promotes health and weight loss. Okay, so I'm not talking about the 12 hours between lunch or dinner and breakfast, because that everybody should be doing. Can't stress that enough. But if you start extending that fasted window to 14, 16, up to 18 hours, or even if you want to do a 24-hour fast. But if you shrink just your eating window daily, it already gives you the benefits of autophagy, which is when your cell kind of cleans up the cells that are senescent, which means the cells that are not working for anything. Your body kind of cleans that out, detoxifying, repairing DNA damage, and some weight loss, okay? So ladies, I have been learning more and more that we do not do good with a lot of fasting, not only a bigger window, but also prolonged, like being on an intermittent fasting forever. As a weight loss strategy, temporarily, that's fine, but we should not go more than 14, max 16 hours per day without eating, okay? But guys can go more, and the girls can do like a 24-hour fast once in a while, but don't do it all the time. So if you do shrink that, it is better for you to eat your calories during the day, so the earlier part of the day. So it's better for you to wake up and do your routines and then have breakfast than it is for you to skip breakfast and eat later at night. And the reason for that is because you're more insulin sensitive during the day and less insulin sensitive at night. So try to fit in your calories earlier in the day and stop eating as early as you can, and then only eat again the next morning. If you can't, if it's just easier for you to skip back breakfast, then so it is. It's fine. But the most benefit is if you eat earlier in the day. Also, if you change what you're eating, then you get more bang for your buck. The studies have shown that too. Okay, second strategy, decrease your carbohydrates, okay? Like I say, carbohydrates are not essential nutrients. You need some of it because some of your cells only work on carbohydrates, but your body does a pretty good job on making glucose out of fat and out of proteins, but you do need some. Ladies do need more than guys. Guys can go really low. 50 grams would be a low carbohydrate healthy for guys. And then ladies need to get around 150, which can be kind of scary for people that are doing low carb for a long time or keto for a long time. You can do keto with less, but again, as a strategy for weight loss, temporarily, short time, just to give your metabolism a little boost, a little change, a different stimuli, but not prolonged. You should not be on a diet prolonged, okay? Nobody should. If you can change up, you can do keto, and then you can do some paleo, and then you can do some vegan for a little while, and you can do some, I don't know, Whole30 for a little while. The healthy ones that I'll talk about later, that's okay, but you should cycle them. Your body should always be very metabolically flexible, so you have to give it different stimuli. So third is manage your stress. When you are stressed, you heighten inflammation in your body. You tend to retain water, so you gain weight from the water retention. You imbalance your hormones, and you know that hormones have a huge factor in weight loss. You also don't sleep well, which means you don't detoxify well, and that just continues, and it makes you less insulin sensitive. So if you have insomnia, you really have to work on that. Try to sleep better and manage your stress. And I've talked about a zillion stress management techniques here already. So that's the three. That was three. Yeah. Number four, increase your muscle mass. So this means go to the gym and lift weights, gain some muscle mass. When you have more muscle mass, you burn more calories when you're just not doing anything, when you're working, when you're sleeping, when you're just sitting there watching TV, because the more muscle mass you have, the more calories you just burn. Okay, so lift heavy weights, and that is good for you because it burns more calories when you're lifting weights, and then it just burns more calories when you have more muscle. That's a double good whammy. Fifth strategy is decrease the obesogens. So you know how I talked about the xenobiotics, parabens, phthalates, pesticides, plasticizers, what else? I have some names here for you. The PFOAs, the ones that are like in your Teflon pan, those non-stick pans. So changing your personal hair care and body care products, changing out your cooking utensils to non-toxic, being careful not to drink waters from plastic bottles all the time, not being that your norm. I mean, if you go somewhere and there's a plastic bottle, it's fine, but don't do that. Don't take it out of your house every single day. So all of that, even MSG, guys, is an obesogen. Obesogen means that it makes you fat. And also, the more toxins you have, the more your body wants to hold on to fat, because we store toxins in fat. So the body is smart, and it doesn't want to dissolve the fat, because once it does that, all the toxins go back to your bloodstream. So it kind of holds on to the weight more because it wants to protect you from being intoxicated. So all the gunk is stored in our fat. Actually, when you start losing fat, and if you are very intoxicated, you kind of feel crummy. Because of that. And so if you are going to lose a lot of fat, if you plan on losing a lot of fat, it's nice to do it with some kind of guidance to help support the detoxification pathway, because that won't make you feel as crummy. The sixth strategy is for you to identify and treat food sensitivities. So anything that you eat that is inflaming your gut and is altering your microbiome, is messing with your hormones, is elevating your inflammation, is making you hold on to water weight, and all that makes you fatter. So the only way to identify for real legit if you have a food sensitivity is to do the elimination diet for 6 weeks, at least 6 weeks, and then reintroduce one food at a time to see if you have a sensitivity. We've talked about this briefly. A food sensitivity is hard for you to identify because it's not like an allergy. Like you eat a mango right now and your throat closes. It's not like that. It's not an allergy. It's a sensitivity. So it'll show up as mucus, congestion, diarrhea, or constipation, some skin problems, some acne, some itch somewhere, a whole bunch of headaches. So it's kind of hard to identify if you don't go through the elimination diet. But once you identify stuff that you're sensitive to and you remove that from your diet, you tend to lose a lot of weight because of that decreased inflammation. So basically treating inflammation related to food. Seventh strategy, drink a lot of water. Drink water when you feel like munching on something. So maybe you're munching out of boredom, and maybe you're munching out of thirst. So drinking water kind of gives you that moment to step back and say, hey, am I bored? Am I just trying to fill a void with something? Or if I'm just thirsty. So definitely go and drink some water away from your meals, 1 hour before your meals or 2 hours after your meals. Drinking good water, filtered water, not from plastic bottles. Increasing the amount of fiber in your diet is excellent for you to lose weight because it increases your satiety. It helps with your insulin sensitivity. So if you want to have some psyllium or some flaxseed or some chia seeds, like 30 minutes before your meal, that's great. It'll make you eat less. It'll make you feel more satisfied, and it'll help flush away just toxins in general and bind to some sugar and some fats. Ninth strategy is eat less packaged, processed goods and eat more real food. So cooking more at home, or packing your lunch whenever you go somewhere. If you know you're going to a party that's only going to have crap, eat before, don't go hungry. You can kind of socially nibble here and there, but you're not making a meal out of crap for you. So always planning ahead. Improving your sleep, I already talked about that because it helps with your insulin sensitivity, balances your hormones, helps you to detox. Then I've talked about also the switching the diets. So diets that are healthy for you, but none of what I'm going to talk about here is forever and for everybody, okay? This has to be kind of guided, but I'll just give you a ballpark. Keto can be done correctly. If done correctly, can be healthy. Go watch my IGTV on keto. Paleo is pretty good. It might not be for everybody because it has a lot of meat. I mean, you can do paleo with less meat, but it's meat and no grains. So some people do good on it. Whole30 is excellent. A low carb done right can be very, very good. Mediterranean is always your best bet. And so, but then, you know, kind of change it up once in a while to keep your mitochondria knowing how to process everything. And then you want to decrease all the inflammatory foods because inflammation makes you gain weight. So the dairy that I've talked about, the gluten, anything that that you're sensitive to inflames you, processed goods, too much salt, too much saturated fat, too much refined oils. So all those, decrease those. If you want to increase the anti-inflammatory foods, that's even better. Smoothies are a great strategy. If you want to replace one of your meals with a good smoothie made with real food, real berries, real greens, a good protein powder. Don't have a smoothie without protein in it, okay? If you want to have a smoothie just with plants and fruits, it's fine, but eat some protein with it, okay? So smoothies are a great bet because you can pack a lot of nutrients in there and you skip a meal. And it's liquid and it's easier to digest. Don't live off of smoothies. Don't make that your diet, okay? We have teeth and we need to chew. That's what they're for. Exercise that has been proven to burn weight is HIIT. So high intensity interval workout trainings, Tabata trainings. So when you're doing like burst exercises and then resting a little bit and then doing burst again, that is the most efficacious for burning fat. But also don't forget that you do need some resistance training, some weights, some bands, some body weights to make that muscle mass so that you can burn those calories when you are resting. Moving more, and now I'm not talking about structured exercise, just moving more during the day. Sit on a ball, on one of those Pilates balls when you're on your computer. Stand up like I am here. Park farther away, take the stairs, walk the dog more, you know, just whatever, just move more. That will help you lose weight and keep you so much more healthy. Then really be mindful when you're eating. So when you sit down, you want to activate your parasympathetic, your rest and digest. Prepare your body for a mealtime. Don't be on your computer, don't be on your phone. Have pleasant conversations, go sit outside, turn off everything, focus on your food, take a deep breath before, put your fork down in between bites so you're not eating. Because when you don't mindfully eat, you eat way more than you would if you just allowed your body to have time. Eat until you are 80% satisfied. You don't have to clean your plate, despite what your mama said. You don't really have to clean your plate. So careful with your liquid calories. Careful with that coffee with the creamer. Careful with that cappuccino, that tea that you put something in it. Don't drink your calories. You know, just it's better for you to eat them. And careful with fruit juices, okay? Fruit juices, I don't even drink them. And when I do, it's a cranberry juice, no sugar. If you really want to drink juice, 6 ounces most, okay? If you want to dilute it with water, that's even better. So the last thing I want to say is that you don't have to be 100%. You can do 80-20. So if 80% of the time during your week, you're, you know, moving and eating pretty healthy, it's okay to go to a party. It's okay to go drink. It's okay to eat cake. It's okay to eat donuts. Everybody has their level of how all in they want to be. You don't have to be all in. You just have to do the best you can. And if you can do 80% of the time, good, then you have wiggle room for 20% and you really won't ruin everything that you built, okay? So I would like for you to choose one thing to do this week and tell me what it is and stick to it and see how it goes. And then one thing that I want to say is that if you lose weight too quickly, a lot of weight too quickly, I can guarantee you're not losing fat. You're losing muscle, okay? And that is not a good thing. And I've explained this before. Don't have time to explain the mechanism, but go slow, okay?